want to say hello, Sabilla. Never met you, but you're my daughter's friend, and you're in Berlin. Yay! Don't even have a passport. Could never go anywhere because I don't have a passport. But I can live vicariously through other people, and that's what I'm doing with your Facebook. I'm living vicariously through you. So there you go. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful time. Anyway, not much on my mind today. Just kind of having a, normal Saturday. There was something on my mind a minute ago. What was I thinking about? I have to think about it. Went to the dollar store yesterday for the first time ever. Didn't buy anything. Everybody on Facebook is always like, Facebook haul, Dollar Tree. No, but we got a new popcorn place next door to the Dollar Tree. So I did buy some popcorn. And the one thing that we can do here in the evenings that does not have a million university people, students, is we have some areas, some places that, hamburger places, and they have open mics sometimes. And so last night I went over and listened to some blues with some local people that play out there. Shout out George. He plays bass and normal guitar. I don't know what those are called. Anyway, but that was fun. And today I really need to go by my office and to do some work. Really need to do that. And my air conditioner went out yesterday. That was a bummer. But it just needed some Freon. So the guy showed up about 7:30 last night, gave me some Freon for it. And it's not real hot in Texas now. I think it's gotten up to 92. So it's manageable. When it starts hitting 92 at night and not cooling off until 89 in the morning, that's when it's bad. So yeah, that's not a good thing. Your feet tend to mash down into the blacktop when you're walking across the parking lot somewhere. I grew up down by the beach. That's what we call it down here. When I was growing up, people down at the beach, we would live 15 minutes from the beach, Gulf of Mexico. We went to the hill country, what we refer to as the hill country, to go to vacation. And the people in the hill country came to the beach, but they call it the coast. And I never, it was like, no, it's not the coast, it's the beach. It's, to me, the coach is I've seen the coast once. One little tiny vacation. It was white. Yeah, ours isn't white. So you have to just imagine what it looks like. It's kind of gray. But anyway, so what we would do is we went camping. My dad was a maintenance man at a chemical plant in between Galveston and Freeport. Anyway, he was a maintenance man at a chemical plant his whole life after he got out of the Navy. Very proud of my dad. He passed away in the 90s, so miss him lots. But we went camping, and we had a tent, hand-me-down tent that was great. And I just recently got rid of it because it kind of rotted. The canvas did, because it was a real tent. It was a canvas tent. But we went to a place called Garner State Park. And during the day, we would leave home right after breakfast or right after we woke up. And we had to have breakfast. And then we went out. We went swimming and running around the park. And see, in the 60s and 70s, you could do that. And then we might come home for lunch, maybe take a few dollars and go up to the cafe and get a little hamburger or something. And then we'd always have iced tea. We had long iced tea spoons. We carried them around in our back pocket. I don't know why that was such a big deal. That was weird. But then we came home for dinner, and we ate supper, and Then we went over and showered and everything, and then we went to the dance. There was a pavilion that had a jukebox, and they had the jukebox running all day, but the people would start coming up there dancing, and after, you know, going home, getting a shower, putting your makeup on, all that stuff, we went up there, I don't know, 7:30? I don't know. I think it closed at 9 or 10. It closed when it got dark. But all the parents would go up there and put their chairs up and sit on the wall and watch us dance. But when I was in 3rd grade, I learned how to country western dance, which is 2-step, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Learned how to waltz, learned how to polka, learned how to schottisch, learned how to Cotton Eye Joe, which nobody does anymore. Schottisch, they do it here a little bit with people who are in the Czech, different Czech groups and dance halls around Texas. And that was fun. So I did that my whole life. We went up there, out of the year, we probably spent anywhere from 3, and if we fit it in, we'd do 4 weeks, 2 in the summer, in the July, and then we might go up during spring break, and that was pretty nice, and then we would go home. I mean, then we would go back some other week or couple weeks, weekends in August, before school started, before I started going to school and opening up so early. But when we pulled up to the campsite, my brother and I both were in Scouts. My parents were both Scout leaders, and the #1 rule in Scouting is when you find something, you leave it better than what you found. And back in the day, you could take off the pop tops off of sodas. They just pulled straight off. They didn't stay on. And everybody smoked, except my parents didn't, and we didn't drink sodas. So we would get out of the car, and we would have to completely scrounge the campsite, get up all the cigarette butts, get up all the pull tops, because they would cut your foot if you stepped on them. And we got it all cleaned up. Then we'd pitch tent, we'd pitch camp, and then we could go get in the river. It's the Frio River. It's called the Rio Frio because it is a cold river. It will take your breath away. It's like it's literally got ice in it. But in a hot summer, when it's 100 degrees outside, it feels good to jump in the river. But we would do that, and we would usually stay, for a couple of weeks. My parents just sat under the big tree. We always had the same campsite. We camped at a place called Majors. It was across the river from Garner, and it was a little bit more private. But when I got in college, my brother got in college. He's 2 years older than me. When he got in college, I started teaching all of his friends how to country western dance, because that was in the 70s, and it was right before Urban Cowboy movie came out, and that's when everybody was country western dancing. And so I always had somebody to dance with, because if they didn't feel comfortable dancing or asking somebody to dance, they knew they could dance with me because I'm the one that taught them how to dance. And back in the day, we called it, oh my goodness, where you dance really fast and go over each other's arms, and it is called, they called it the whip for a long time, and we call it, well, I guess we didn't call it the jitterbug. My mom called it the jitterbug. I guess it was the whip, because you go out, you come in, and slide the, kind of like on Grease, how they danced on Grease. And I taught people how to do that, and that was a lot of fun. But that was a long time ago. I got married, and my now ex-husband decided he didn't like to dance. We danced before we got married, but danced before we got married, and after we got married, he decided he didn't like dancing. So that was interesting. But he's a good guy anyway. But anyway, so those are my thoughts for the day. I hope you enjoyed the puppies, the little girls, Dakota and, oh my goodness, I just left, her name just slipped right in my brain. I had an old person skip in my brain. So anyway, the dogs, the girls, and the trip down the river, seeing the river. That was not the Frio River, that was the Blanco River. And it's cold, but it's not bad. But I'll have to tell you, y'all need to go on internet and look at Missouri County. The county I grew up in is completely underwater. The Brazos River is over its banks. and it is completely out of its mind. So anyway, just wanted to say hello and post another video, and love you, Jennifer, and Sibylla, come home safe. Y'all have a good afternoon.